And whoever would not seek Yahweh Elohim of Israel would be put to death, from small to great, from man to woman. So he was taking this serious. He said, look, we have had this thing all screwed up. We're suffering because of it. We are not messing around anymore. We're going to seek him with everything, and if you won't, you either better leave and get out of Dodge, or we're going to kill you. You're not going to stay in here and influence and affect those around you in that wrong way. Let's not diminish or minimize the potential effect that people have on you that are not doing things right. Now, I'm not talking about, let's see how I want to say this. I'm not talking as much about your non-covenanted friends and your non-covenanted family. You know why? They don't affect you the same way of the covenanted friends and family, or at least they claim to be, who are doing things wrong. Because you know they're not covenanted. You know your family, your friends, whoever it is, you don't expect them to eat right, to keep the right days, to treat each other right, to love him and to love their neighbor right. So I'm not talking about the level of influence they have on you, although you need to be aware that there is, potentially. Here it's talking about those in the camp who are claiming to be in the camp that are not keeping this covenant. Potentially, that's like a cancer in the body, and it will metastasize and spread. So bear in mind, I'm not telling you need to get rid of everybody you know that's not in covenant. This is not some cultish isolation. Even Yeshua said, Father, I'm not asking you to take them out of the world, but to keep them from being influenced by it. Okay? But remember, this is talking about you need to be aware, and some of you really have this problem because I know specifically people that are doing this here and not locally as well, that are in the group, who are still interacting with people that used to be or claim to be part of the group, so to speak, covenant, Torah observant, etc., and no longer are, and you're allowing them to still have high levels of interaction with you, and they can influence you. And we've seen that. So if your brother or sister goes over the bridge into Judaism, you need to make a strong little barrier between you and them, because they could influence you to go the same way. Or your friends that, well, you know, they were part of the covenant, but now they found a watered-down version of it, like the Melchizedekian teaching thing that's out there. They can influence you as well. Be aware of those that seem to be covenanted or were covenanted and now have chosen a slightly different path on their ability to bring you in that direction. You all think, and maybe it's true, but the potential is very dangerous. You all think that you're influencing them. That's potentially, possibly true. You might. But the risk, the potential high percentage of risk that they'll influence you isn't worth that. They're not your problem, it's his problem. It's not for you to influence them. He's going to do that. If he's going to let them go on their journey, I've been on a journey, and then walk them back from the journey. He walked me back from the journey. Nobody else did. Nobody influenced me. Nobody came to me. He did it. That's, I believe, probably going to work with everybody the same way. Let them go on their journey. You keep walking your journey. You be that light. But keep that buffer that they are not likely to lead you in their direction. Because generally speaking, people, when they leave, become very, from a Christian point of view, evangelical. They proselytize. I don't mean evangelical meaning like that church, but I mean they want to proselytize and get others to go where they're going. They become very involved in trying to always bring up those topics to try to get you to question where you are, to want to go where they are. Okay, and we're not to proselytize. The few that were out there doing that, Yeshua sent out, were trained to do it a certain way by going into towns, seeing where there was Abba was calling those where he was calling, and if nobody, get up and leave. Not pestering or bothering or annoying and trying to convince people of anything. Going there and saying, has Abba brought anybody here that we're supposed to talk to? Nope, next town. Yep, okay, we'll set up a congregation. But realize the level of aggressive proselytizing that people that were covenanted, when they now are partially or somewhat or differently covenanted, they're going to try to convince you why they're right and you're wrong. And if you experienced that, you know what I'm talking about. You start talking to those people. I'm just telling you, you need to be aware. Now, if any of those people, I'm not saying this is happening now, this could be happening in the future. If any of those people that you run into are reviling the leadership where you came from or the other people where you came from, we're told you're not even to break bread with a reviler.